Yo. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
America, KKK, land of the good smokers, home of the slaves. And I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Can I live my dreams on this earth? Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fiction that's disguised as what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that be the death of me. As of late, since we've been hypnotized since elementary, thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Healers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the roots connected, always more to learn of that, you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yo.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement, ride incitement, shit. Well, there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded, so we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way low, nigga. I ain't taking shit from no tars, and ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from marching, begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins. Why? They broke every treaty, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis at Tuskegee. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't wanna give us no jobs. Wasn't supposed to make it, but we stayed defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Yo, can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood cell. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I fed, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up some solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for it, I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we run it. him in that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told him I need major motion. Think I'm joking. I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust. Now I'm too clean. Don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. UPK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that eco-line to a damn tank. I got chopper stash in the attic like they had front. They had that shit on lock until I snapped on them like ball cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He's nice, but he don't show the skills how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got it made, circle tight, yeah, back and still. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rain for real.
One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance. One west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got group time for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been a rapper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them up, Patron and premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat song, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spin like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning coming through with the title because UPK. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Okay,
I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
the world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shall endure to the end.
The world said fuck us,
Shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, no. So we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on to your sanity.
I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. Said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so he said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
Let me run that back one more time. This preaching officer Yashala, filling in for preaching officer 5,000 Ball to the scripture breakdown class. You know what I mean? To the brothers that's in the chat or watching wherever they are. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shabbarakatham. And to the Aquathium, the sisters, Shalom Yahweh Shemar Athem Bashem Yahweh Shah. And this is scripture breakdown class, y'all. You know what I mean? I didn't realize my computer was on mute, so that's why I ran everything back. Make sure everybody heard me clearly. I'm gonna give people in the chat a minute to get settled in. If y'all got any questions, y'all need any scriptures broken down, feel free. Give me some work to do. That's all. Best way I can put it. Give me some work to do for the Lord. You understand? Before I get to my topic. You know what I mean? I got some news articles. You know, not as disturbing as I take news as I normally bring out, but it's still news nonetheless. You understand? And you know, today I want to talk about and bring out about forgiveness, right? You know, forgiveness is a very one West thing to do. However, it is a difficult thing to do, especially when you're dealing with being in the world, right? It's almost impossible to get somebody to forgive somebody for something they did, or if they wronged you or you wronged them. It's like we put this air on, blah, blah. You know, it's like pulling teeth to forgive somebody that wronged you, you know, or vice versa. And this is why I know I'm in the right place, you know, because it's it's common sense. It's like, think about it. If you want the Most High to forgive you from being a wicked, disgusting bastard, right? Then who are you to not show compassion or mercy and forgive somebody that wronged you? Or somebody that didn't directly wrong you, but they wronged your family. You know what I mean? Forgiveness is a very righteous and glorious thing to do, but it's damn near impossible when dealing with the world or the people in it. And the truth is easy. It's almost as easy as breathing. You know? I'm like, stop you, bro. I ain't like the way you did that. Well, I ain't like the way you said that. You know what? Stop you. My bad. I apologize. You see how simple that is? But it's not that easy in the world. You know, somebody unalive, a family member, or somebody close to you, y'all want to return the favor in blood. You understand? And that's not a healthy thing to do in this world. We're already, you know, being unalived at alarming rates. We're already unaliving one another, being unalived by the oppressor. You understand? And we're unaliving ourselves by not properly taking care of ourselves, not properly keeping up with our health, things of that nature. You understand? This is why hard work, dedication, and focus plays a key role in your lifestyle, especially in this culture. You understand? Staying focused, learning these laws, statutes, and commandments, and doing them, not just being hearers but doers. You know, you're doing a great service, not just for yourself but for the Lord. You understand? Even if it doesn't show immediate gratification for the work you do, just know that it does not go unnoticed. You understand? Pray I do, Israel. Anybody else? Anybody in the chat got any questions or comments? I mean, Shalom says, faithfully in class. I appreciate you. Faithfully in class. I mean, got my brother Priest Snows and Chapo in the building. You know. Yeah, the topic of today is forgiveness, right? We must forgive those that trespass against us as people. Even individually, the Lord watches over us how we handle these type of situations. And as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if we don't stay focused to the law, statutes, and commandments and handle things accordingly, that's when certain things can occur. So this is why it's very important that we, one, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Two, we do the law, statutes, and commandments. Fear the Most High. Love one another like the Most High loves us. You understand? And learn to gain compassion. Learn to gain patience. Learn to gain forgiveness. You understand? Forgiveness has to come from here, from you. Not just saying it. Meaning you can say it, but you have to mean it. Only the Lord knows if you mean it or not. But just remember, that's a revolving door, because if you slip up and you do something wrong and you want to be forgiven, you want the Lord to be sincere in your forgiveness. So again, I say, if you don't be sincere when you forgive somebody, how can you expect the Most High to be sincere in forgiving you? How can you expect it to be genuine? So like, there's some water up here. Oh. Fuck it. Fuck Israel. But yes, you know, it's important in today's society that we learn about things like forgiveness. We learn about compassion. We learn about patience. Because without this stuff, we fall. And without keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we will fall. Now let's go into the book. We're going to go to the book of Mark, chapter 11, verse 25. And when ye stand praying, forgive, if ye have aught against any, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespass. Meaning, when you're standing there praying, right? If you did any wrong that you're praying for, you got to be willing to forgive in order to be forgiven. Thank you. Good cut. Wow. Best thing on earth. There came sliced bread. Whew. All right. You know, in the book of Mark, chapter 11, verse 25, it says, and when ye stand praying, forgive. Right? When you pray to the Most High, don't just ask for forgiveness. You got to be willing to forgive somebody that trespassed against you. Because 9 out of 10, you did something wrong at some point, somewhere, some shape or fashion, whether you realize it or not. So you have to have the same type of, how we say in today's society, you have to have that same energy. You understand? You have to have that same type of energy that you had to sit there and point your finger at the person and say, oh, well, you wronged me, you did this, you did that. You got to, in the same breath, in the same energy, be like, I forgive you. Because when being in this world, I might have did something wrong too. So in order for me to forgive, I got to be willing to forgive. It's a lot here. Yo, what is up with this camera? It's a lot here, bro. A little technical difficulty. We're back in action. Now it says, if ye have aught against any, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespass. Meaning, when you stand there and pray, be willing to forgive somebody that wronged you. Because if you want forgiveness from the Most High for you being wicked and disgusting, you have to forgive that other person. That's just how this goes. This is a revolving door. In order for you to be forgiven, you must forgive. Even if you didn't do anything wrong. Still have that mindset and that spirit. Be willing to apologize if in the event that you might have did something or said something and was not aware that you might have potentially had trespassed or offended that brother or sister. You understand what I'm saying? Always be in that mindset, because if you're in the mindset of wanting to be forgiven, you have to also be in the mindset to have willingness to be forgiven, and you have to be willing to forgive. You understand? Some situations I understand is difficult. It's damn near impossible. Some situations I know in life we done said things like, nah, I ain't forgiving that. That's not forgivable. I'm standing 10 toes on that. You understand? And I get it. Some things happen to us in life or to the closest around us, and we shut that down. We ain't trying to forgive. Like, being in the world, we don't just want to not forgive, but we want to get revenge. We want to get back. But that's a never-ending cycle. Think about it. We're only doing it to one another. We're not out here going to war with heathens or anything of that nature. We at war with ourselves and with each other. That's the problem. I'm at war with my goddamn self every single day. All I can do is ask the Lord, forgive me. I'm still bumping my head trying to get things right in life. You understand? But as long as we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we are on the right path. We are on the path of righteousness. We are on the path of greatness. You understand? There's one thing if somebody knows you're a great person, you have to know that you're great too. You understand? I prayed to Israel. Let's see. We're going to go into the book of, this time we're going to go into the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 32. Give y'all a second to get there with me. I hope y'all have y'all King James 1611, or if you have your King James Bible and your Apocrypha, your Zondervan Bible Dictionary, your Strong's Concordance. And the UPK is important to have these tools, because you never know when you're in the class. Brother might be reading a precept for a man above him and might come across a word that he wants to have broken down so he can give proper context. So we must always be prepared at all times to break something down. I pray I'll understand Israel. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 32. And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ's sake have forgiven you. Meaning, just love one another. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't love enough. We got all this hatred towards one another. But not one time we can sit there and turn around and say, I love you. And that's the problem. We quick to say, I hate you. I hate this thing. No, be like that. Forgive that brother. Gain a little patience and understanding. It might get you far. What if there's a brother that unallowed somebody close to you at some point in the past, right? And then years later comes into the ISUPK. The question is, do you forgive that brother? You understand what I'm saying? Like, do you forgive him for those past transgressions if he's trying to turn his life around and live for the Lord? Now, like, I understand as a human being, as a Judite, as an individual, it eats you up. It eats you up inside just to be in the presence of this person. But you know, I can't believe I had asked us this question a while back. He's like, can you forgive somebody that killed somebody close to you? Can you forgive that brother? Can you have patience and compassion and mercy for a brother, especially if he's trying to come into the truth and come into school and turn his life around? Like, do you have what it takes to forgive that person, to forgive that brother? Just the same as when you're pleading with the Most High to forgive you because you slipped up and you ate some shrimp, some crabs, some lobster, or a piece of pork, or something that had pork ingredient in it. You understand what I'm saying? Whether directly or indirectly, because that's something that we have to watch out for in today's society, Israel. We gotta watch out for these food products and things like that, because they put pork or ingredients and contents of pork in a lot of the stuff that we normally buy on a day-to-day basis out here in today's society. So we got to be mindful of that stuff as well, brothers and sisters. I pray y'all understand. We get back to these scriptures. Slovakia. Where was we at? Oh, okay. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 32. And be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted. Meaning, be kind to your brother. Be kind to your sister. Well, if you know them or not, be kind to them. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to kill you to be kind. Kindness goes a very long way. And it says, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, have forgiven you. You got to be willing to forgive to be forgiven. Again, I understand some situations it's harder than others. Some things is just impossible to digest. But you got to remember, you're a priest and prophet for the Lord first now. So some of that stuff you have to swallow that pill and choke it down, because when it comes to the Most High and His work, that trumps all. Straight up and down, that trumps all. We have to be willing to forgive our trespasses as we want to be forgiven. You understand? That goes for in every single thing we do in life. This is why we are taught to be more mindful with the things that we say and the things that we do and how we move, because what I say might affect your tomorrow. What I do just might affect your tomorrow. So we seriously genuinely have to be mindful of the things that we do, things that we say, and how we move around as a person and or as a unit. I pray y'all understand this real. Next, we're going to go into the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 15. Give y'all a minute to, get it together. Slovakia. Okay. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 15. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Again, like I just reiterated just a second ago in the other precept, if you don't be willing to forgive the next man, how can you expect your Father to forgive you? It's just that simple. There's no levels to sin. Sin is sin. And the Most High hates the sin and the sinner. So if somebody transgressed against you or sinned against you, and then you sinned in return, you can't sit there and look for the Lord to forgive you if you're not willing to forgive that person that wronged you. Let's say, for example, you and a friend of yours is hanging out in your room, right? And your boy see a CD, a dope CD that you got a mixtape or something. Yo, let me hold this mixtape, bro. I'll bring it back. Nah, I already loaned out enough of these CDs, and I'm waiting on stuff to come back. He borrows it anyway without your permission, right? A couple of days go by, a week go by. You try to see if he gonna bring it back or say something to you. He don't. But here's the kicker. You just did that to your other boy the previous week. So if you're not willing to forgive him, how can you expect the Lord to forgive you when you turn around and was doing the same thing? Same thing goes if you're in the world and let's say certain particular crime was committed. right? Let's say you lived a certain type of lifestyle being in the world before the truth, right? And you used to do B&Es, right? This is like breaking the net. And you being needed into somebody's home, you didn't know who they was, whatever. You was trying to get whatever you got out of there. And then later on down the line, you decide to turn your life around, right? One of those people in the midst of you changing your life around did a B&E in your crib. Not knowing it was you. You not knowing it was somebody you did. But the brother broke into your apartment, right? So despite the fact that anything was taken or anything like that, right? You must be willing to forgive that brother for trespassing against you if you want the Most High to forgive you for your past transgressions of doing that to other people when you was in the world, being wicked and disgusting. You understand what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have balance. You gotta have structure and order. Without structure and order, it's chaos. I pray y'all understand. Okay. Let's see about one of these articles. There we go. Let me do that one. Us Judahites, we could be terrible. At the end of the day, when brothers and sisters is having lovers quarrels, it's meant to be behind closed doors. You go to him or you go to her and them alone, and y'all talk it out, work it out, hash it out, however y'all see fit. Like all this, let your business spill out in the social media, whether if you're famous or well known, whatnot. Like it's not healthy, not just for yourself, but it's extremely unhealthy to the youth. You got a bunch of young black, Hispanic, and Indian boys and girls playing on to social media. This is their everyday life. I came from an era like we didn't have phones. So when cell phones came out, it was like, damn. Because we didn't even have cell phones directly right out the gate. What was those what you call it? Boost. Before Boost became Boost, it was Nextel, right? Nextel came out with the it was a phone, but it was like a walkie-talkie. You understand? When you hit the button, it go bloop, bloop. Like we call those the chirp phones, right? So we used to have chirp phones. You try to call somebody, you don't answer, you hit the chirp button, send them a message, but you could bust right through their phone with the chirp, like and start talking. But see, back in the days, you have to be mindful of that stuff because you never know what was going on the other end of that phone. You know what I'm saying? And you might have came out talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And again, all this ties into forgiveness by being forgiven and be willing to forgive. Like you be surprised how something small could turn into something humongous. But at the same time, you got to be willing to forgive if you want to be forgiven. Let me go to this right here, right quick.
Champ, y'all see what's going on? It's about to get ugly.
It's about to get real ugly, and not for me.
With the champ, y'all see what's going on? It's about to get ugly.
It's about to get real ugly, and not for me.
See, it's ignorant of papoose to slack here. It's ignorant for papoose to be making jokes and clowning. But I out of all of the stuff that's being said, he did go on to say one thing, and I give him credit for that. You know, he's been trying to handle this business behind closed doors for the longest. He said he's been put in for divorce. You know, she the one that been slipping and lollygagging and BSing around and whatever the case may be, not trying to handle business like a civilized adult. Whether that's true is here and there, but the whole point of the matter is Papoose has to be willing to forgive her and vice versa. They have to be willing to forgive one another. You know what I'm saying? They have a young child that has to be cared for. And they got to be willing to put those petty differences aside to become great and awesome parents. But sometimes you have to make those sacrifices in life. You have to sacrifice having an attitude over taking care of your son, your daughter, or your grandbaby. You know what I'm saying? We as Black Hispanics, we can't always be selfish. We can't always be petty. We have to be willing to, you know, have that type of maturity level, like the scriptures say when they say love one another, be kind to one another. We have to be willing to be kind to one another and love one another in order to you know, forgive and to be forgiven. All this is synonymous. It goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? I'll read another precept before I bring my next article. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 1, verse 9. This is one of my favorites right here. I'll tell you why, because, you know, we all fall down. And if we don't have a fellow to help us up through those hard times, we can fall right apart as people, individually and as people, right? As it says, help your fellow. If your brother fall, help your fellow. Help him up. But those that stand alone, if he falls and have no one to pick him up, I'm paraphrasing. I don't recall the whole precept verbatim, but it's basically saying, like, you know, it's pretty much a sin to not being brotherly, not having a brother by your side, not having a brother for adversity, because the scripture says a friend of love at all times, but a brother is built for adversity. And that is so true. Slack it. Let me get back to the precept before I lose track. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 1, verse 9, right? If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Meaning, if we confess our sins to the Lord God, right, he's faithful and just to forgive us in return. So we must forgive to be forgiven. Because if we want the Most High to forgive us, we have to be willing to forgive. Because he won't just forgive us. He will cleanse us from all unrighteousness. I would like to be cleansed from all unrighteousness. I would love to just be completely righteous. I would love to. This is why I'm willing to forgive a person that had trespassed against me. You know what I'm saying? be surprised what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are capable of doing once you put them in the correct situation, in the correct position, and hell, if they're in the ISUPK, that's the best way I can put it. You know what I'm saying? That's the best and only way I can put it. If you're in the ISUPK, you're in the best possible position you could be in. You understand? It's like, I love water. Okay. Before I get to the next precept, let me cue up this next article. Now, I got some of these articles. They're not really like disturbing articles, but I'm bringing them out as an example of why it's important for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to actually forgive one another. Like it's very, very important that I forgive you and you forgive me for any and all for any transgressions. If I ever offended you or anything like that, I apologize. But you see how simple that is? It is even simpler on the other hand when a person is like, thank you, Tawada, I appreciate that. I forgive you. Now, if I might have said or did anything in the situation that might have offended you, I apologize. And that's where I'll go. Come, no sweat. I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go have a drink. Like, and that's it. And that's how that go. That's brotherhood. That's sisterhood for you. That's just how it go in this ISUPK. You understand? Pretty out too. Let me cue up this article, and then we're going to get some more of these precepts going. If anybody got any precepts, please feel free to put them in. The title of this article is "Who Killed Frankie?" Right? The Jersey man was strangled to death, but who's really to blame? The dead body rests on Frank Rant's living room couch. It lays face down, spilling partially onto the floor as Rant dials 911 just before midnight. His flat voice offers only the faintest hint of alarm. All day. Here we go. I'm sorry to report this, but I think my roommate is dead. Rant said with detached calm on November 5th, 2021. His roommate, Frank Majuri, 60, is an usher at Sunday Mass and a longtime library volunteer known by the family and friends as Frankie. He's lived with Rants for 3 months. Both have been diagnosed with schizophrenia. Okay. Serve behavioral health. A not-for-profit group. The state of New Jersey pays to find housing for adults with serious mental illness, place them together in the Wayne condominium. It declared them a perfect match, at least until Rance strangled Majuri. That fall night with his with his bare hands. Do you want to do CPR? The 911 operator asked Rance, a tall, quiet New York Knicks fan with a shaved head. I think it's too late, he replies. She tells Rance she can walk him through the process. Honestly, Rance says he's dead. The details of Majori's horrifying killing has never been in question. Rance, then 38, was convinced Majori stole his missing Social Security check from their mailbox, his brain unwilling to, or perhaps unable to accept any other possibility police body cam footage shows. Rance, 6'1", 374 pounds, later confessed he lost it. He casually explained he strangled his older roommate for about 5 full minutes. According to the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office, he watched Majori's eyes bulge and his face turn purple. Rance told authorities, screaming at him until all signs of life had been snuffed out. Rance has yet to go to trial, pleading not guilty to first-degree murder charges, but no criminal verdict can address the question both families demand an answer to. When two strangers with serious mental illness are assigned to live together under supervision and one ends up dead and the other locked away, who should be held accountable? It's not like it's not like he took something, hit him over the head, and the guy accidentally died, said Rance's mother, Tia Edwards. He actually put his hands around the guy's throat. That takes a minute, you know. I don't think he was in his right mind. A year-long investigation by the New Jersey Advanced Media found a series of red flags to bring the arraignment into question. Rance's mental health was deteriorating in the weeks before the killing. He had a documented history of paranoia, especially involving roommates, and he was diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder, a condition that can cause impulsive and aggressive outbursts. Both families say Sir erred in the placing Rance and Majori in the same minimally supervised living space, and contention supported by experts. And Frankie's sisters, Donna and Doreen Majori, alleged to promise weekly check-ins at the condo were sporadic in the 3 months before their brother's death, including a missed appointment the day before the killing. Surf was negligent in that they knew or should have known of the dangerous propensities of Rance, who had a lengthy history of mental illness documented in Surf's own files. The Majori estate contends in the lawsuit. It is extremely difficult thinking about our brother, a peaceful man, meeting such a violent death, Majori's sister said in a statement to the New Jersey Advanced Media. But the reverberations resonate far beyond one man's killing. The New Jersey Advanced Media Review 100 of pages of public records found a history of troubling allegations against Serve. They include improper care and lack supervision, despite the organization generating more than $25 million in net revenue between 2019 and 2022, according to the tax records for the 6 not-for-profit entities. Majority's death also exposed a systematic weakness in the community's mental health system. Some experts say he would be alive today if Rance had been temporarily hospitalized or monitored more closely in the group home based on his behavior leading up to Majority's death. In addition, the tragedy raises uncomfortable questions about the level of supervision and care provided to more than 5,000 adults with severe mental illness across New Jersey. Yet the State Department of Human Services says it steps in only after something goes wrong with its contracted providers like SERV, monitoring for egregious and ongoing problems. And the brutal killing underscores the worst fears of advocates who say to push the house people with serious mental illness in the community has gone too far. Wayne police had been at the condo 4 times in the 2 months before Majority's death, including less than an hour before the strangling, reinforcing the troubling limitations of law enforcement when it intersects with mental health. Every day, thousands of New Jerseyans, like the 2 Franks, a vulnerable and misunderstood population, often pushed to society's margins and trust their lives to an overburdened mental health system. But there's staff shortages, funding shortages, housing shortages, pressure to rack up billable hours, all in New Jersey where the system is regarded as one of the nation's best. It's just a broken system that needs really, really big changes to happen, said Audra Blinkenstaff, a former Serve residential counselor who now works in education. The community mental health system, Majority and Rance replied on, is hanging on by a thread, she said, by hopes and dreams of people who really do care. Serve is deeply committed to the safety and security of the individuals and its care. The company in a statement is declined to provide direct responses to nearly 50 questions New Jersey Advanced Media submitted in writing, citing the ongoing criminal case and company's policy. We take seriously our role in fulfilling much needed services within the community, and we hold ourselves in the highest standards, the statement said. We remain deeply saddened by the loss of Mr. Majori, and we recognize the importance of honoring the legal process to fully investigate the circumstances surrounding his tragic death. Three years after the killing, there is no indication anyone beyond Rance and Majori will pay a price for what happened that night. There have been no calls for reform, no politicians demanding an investigation. Frank Majori was alive one day, dead the next. The world didn't seem to notice. Nobody cares except the families that are affected by it, said Rosalind Metzger, a mental health advocate whose sister was diagnosed with schizophrenia and lives in New Jersey. It breaks my heart to think all of the people that could benefit from better care. On the 911 on the phone with 911 that night, Rance says nothing on his dispute with Missouri. The operator asked Missouri age, and Rance seemed unaware of the gravity of the situation, still focused on a missing check. I think he's 60, Rance said. He could be lying about it, like a lot of things he's lying about. And he's your roommate? The operator asked. Response is chilling. He was. Officer William Hall arrived at 10:42 on the night of Frank Missouri's death. Rance was waiting at the door of a brick building wearing a red athletic shorts and a personalized blue hockey jersey. He had called the cops to report the crime. He believed the Social Security check had been stolen. What's his name, Frank? Hall asked. Frank Rance said, "Know his name?" Hall asked. Frank Rance said it with annoyance. Hall was one of Wayne's newest officers, sworn in just 13 months earlier. How Slacky, he followed Rance inside and saw Missouri sitting at a cluttered dining room table in blue sweatpants and a white T-shirt with a gallon of milk next to him. "Are you Frank?" Hall asked. "Yeah, 2 Franks," Missouri said, holding up his 2 fingers and gesturing to Rance, as though the novelty had worn off after 3 months together. Frank and Frank. The 2 Franks both had schizophrenia, but they arrived at 21 Hitchman Avenue, apartment 1A, from starkly different paths. Majority enjoyed the advantages of growing up in the suburban Passaic County, where his parents lived in Wayne's Pine Lakes section with the tennis court in their backyard. Frankie played football at Wayne Hills High School in the late 70s and was known for driving a black Smoky and an abandoned Pontiac Firebird Trans Am with the iconic Screaming Chicken decal on the hood. Then he had a mental breakdown at 19. He became withdrawn and depressed, dropping out of Fairleigh Dickinson University after his first year. He didn't understand what was happening at the symptoms of schizophrenia took hold. He could no longer function normally. His sister said in a statement, all his hopes and dreams for the future, for marriage, children, and a career were lost. Majority began receiving mental health treatment in the 1980s as his mother scored library books to learn about his condition. He became a served client in the summer of 1996. Before his parents died in the mid-2010s, Jory spent most Saturdays with his father playing the ponies at the Meadowlands racetrack. They would wake up the next morning and attend Mass at St. Mary's Church in Prompton Lakes, typically followed by lunch at one of their favorite Italian restaurants. Majority Slovakia. Here we go. Majority 60 had Slovakia. Okay. Majority 60 had a full head of gray hair. He was 6'8", weighed 283 pounds, which his family attributes to one of his true loves, food. Frankie always raved after devouring a good meal. This is good. He would gush after a bite of his sister's home cooked flounder and broccoli. It's restaurant quality. Oh, you got a video?
I just had a few comes at my house, and I'm trying to report this, but I think my roommate is dead.
What's his name, Frank?
Frank.
No, what's his name?
Frank.
Oh, you're both Frank?
Yes.
I got you. Okay. Did you happen to see his social security check in the mail?
I have the mailbox. I check all the time. It's not there if you want to look.
No, he's saying that you saw it and you tore it up and threw it in the trash.
He stole it.
Okay. He's saying.
Of course he's saying that.
Right.
He stole it. They always deliver it. I'm not cut off disability.
You're not.
Someone would have been notified by now.
I get it.
He's the only person that has a key to the mailbox. What if he steals again?
There's nothing in here.
What if he steals again? He's the only person that has a key to the mailbox.
I get it.
They would have told me to cut off from Social Security.
No, I completely get it. You're going to be civil with him? You're not there's not going to be any arguments or anything when I leave. I know it's frustrating.
Chief Daniels. Hello, I just had a few comes at my house, and I'm trying to report this, but I think my roommate is dead.
Okay. Do you want to do CPR?
I think it's too late.
If you're able to do it, I can walk you through it.
Honestly, you scared.
And he's your roommate?
He was.
What's going on, Frank?
I said it didn't go so well.
Huh?
I said it didn't go so well.
What didn't go so well?
Frank didn't go so well.
What do you mean?
We got into an argument.
Did you guys get physical?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Frank.
What happened, Frank? What kind of lost it in there?
Listen, for your safety and my safety, I'm just going to put you in handcuffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right? We understand each other. We have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that? Thanks, Frank.
Rance, on the other hand, is a product of the system. Born in North to a young mother battling addiction, he was abandoned by his father and raised by his aunt in Maryland until entering foster care around the age of 10, according to the account read in court. He was shuffled between 5 foster homes where he says he was sexually abused. Rance attended East Orange Clifford J. Scott School, where he told officials he was threatened by gang members. He was classified as emotionally disturbed and was sent to the Academy of Fairfield for special education services. As an adult, Rance tracked down his mother, learning she had lived with walking distance for years. When the family gathered for his birthday on July 2017, he used his cell phone to record their farewell in front of a silver Subaru with bags of Popeyes resting on the hood. As he filmed his sister handing him professional photograph of his smiling young niece and nephew, "I'll frame it," Rance told her. "Love you." His sister said on her way into the car. Love you too, he replied, recording until his family nearly pulled away. Adults with mental health illness are often lonely and yearn for social interaction. They can also feel powerless, according to advocate groups like Serve tell them where they can live and who they can live with, wielding the authority of who stays in the program. The, these adults are genuinely best served by having apartments of their own, eliminating the potential for conflict, said Robert Davison, CEO of the Mental Health Association of Essex and Morris. But there's no single housing market in the country where someone on disability income can afford the fair market rent, according to the Technical Assistance Collaborative and nonprofit focus on housing issues among people with disabilities. Instead, many people with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, personality disorder, and other mental illness rely on partially subsidized housing programs that assign them one or more roommates. Availability is a major factor in determining placement. So the two Franks were bonded by disability and inability. Then one night in November 2021, they found themselves at the center of a dispute that would destroy both their lives. Did you happen to see his Social Security check in the mail? Hall asked Majuri in the body cam footage. He's saying that you saw it and you tore it up and threw it in the trash. If I saw his check, I'd give it to him. Majuri said earnestly from his seat at the table. Say you can look in the mailbox if you want. Hall reportedly questioned Majuri, asking if they threw away any mail. He stole it, Rance said calmly, standing a few feet behind his roommate. Okay, he's saying, Hall began. Of course, he's saying that, Rance interrupted. His frustration rising. He stole it. Majuri had a little more than an hour to live. The voices started talking to Frank Rance when he was a boy. They saw confusing things. He later tells a doctor sometimes he talks back when no one is watching. Schizophrenia is usually diagnosed between the late teens and early 30s, when doctors detect signs of serious mental illness and Rance around first grade. He has said and sent him to residential treatment at the age of 7. Schizophrenia isn't how portraying in the movies. It doesn't cause multiple personalities or condemn everyone who has it to a life of violence. If committed to taking their medication, many people are able to manage their symptoms, success in high-powered jobs, maintain romantic relationships, and raise children, according to Stephen Shanthal, chair of the psychiatry department at the Rowan University School of Osteopathic Medicine. Overall, people with mental illness are more likely to be a victim of violent crime than a perpetrator. But schizophrenia is often the source of powerful delusions, false beliefs, and hallucinations. There are several variations, such as paranoid, cantonic, and undifferentiated, each producing its own set of symptoms. Schizophrenia affects about 1% of the population and can be a significant barrier to maintaining employment and living independently. People diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia like Rance typically have a better chance at a higher functioning life despite feelings of distrust, suspicion, and fear of persecution, according to Shanthor. If your loved one was to be diagnosed with schizophrenia, the best outcome diagnosis is actually paranoid, he said. Yet, by November 2021, Rance had accumulated a significant psychiatric history, according to documents read in court. He had been hospitalized for mental illness at Greystone Park Psychiatric Hospital and Cora Psychiatric Hospital, Overlook Medical Center, Trinitas Regional Medical Center, Carewell Health Medical Center, and University Hospital, though the exact dates were not disclosed during the stint at Essex County Hospital at the age 19. He was expressed persecutory and grandiose delusional beliefs that he worked for the FBI, the Ku Klux Klan, the government, and the mafia. He told staff the KKK conducted experiments on him, and he was a double agent owed $10 million for his work. Doctors there describe Rance as having illogical, extremely disorganized, circumstantial and loosely associated thought processes. In a separate stay at Greystone, Rance was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, paranoid schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and psychosis. He has also diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder, a condition that Mayo Clinic describes as repeated sudden bouts of impulse, aggressive, violent behavior, or angry verbal outbursts, similar to road rage or temper tantrums. The reactions are too extreme for the situation. Slovakia, bear with me. It sounds like you had a very severe mental illness that unfortunately may not have the best prognosis, Shanthor told NJ Advanced Media, based on Rance's initial diagnosis at such a young age. His mental illness was also referenced in records detailing his brush with the law. In 2009, Rance was cited for criminal mischief after Toms River police say he threw rocks at 3 moving cars, shattering one window and damaging the windshield. Police reports from the incidents indicated Rance was a resident of Dover Woods, a state-licensed residential healthcare facility in Toms River that is often home for patients discharged for psychiatric hospitals. The charges were later dismissed. 4 years later, a man filed a citizen's complaint with Winslow police accusing Rance of simple assault. The charge was dismissed. Court records show with Cora written in the comment section of the form. Yet Hall knew none of this when he arrived at Rance's condo about an hour before the killing, just as the young police officer didn't know that Rance in 2019 accused Serve of trying to brainwash him, just as he didn't know Rance a few months before Majuri's death reported that a former roommate would poison him. Hall asked Rance to talk to him in the building hallway. He advised him to call the Social Security office on Monday and say he lost his check. And then he said, no, he stole it, Rand said, standing under a fluorescent light. Missouri then popped out of the apartment. I'll check it right now, he said, the mailbox key jingling in his hand. What if he steals it again, Rand said. There's nothing in there, Missouri hollered from the end of the hallway. What if he steals it again? Rance repeated, looking for an answer from Hall. He's the only person that has the key for the mailbox. They wouldn't totally cut me off from Social Security. Missouri approached from the end of the hall, repeating that there's nothing in the mailbox. Sorry, he said, looking at Rance before disappearing back inside. He would never step foot outside his house again, his home again. All right, this goes on. That goes on to continue on about another situation, more about the situation, and that's a rough case, and that's another problem that we deal with out here in New Jersey, New York, PA, and so on and so forth, right? We deal with a lot of mental health issues. We've had a lot of unalignment because police officers and law enforcement is unequipped to deal with people with extensive drug habits and abuse and people with extensive mental health issues like paranoid schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, things of that nature. You understand? That's a sad case. But again, even in terms of mental health issues, we still have to be willing to forgive in order to be forgiven. No, that brother was not in his right mind to unalive his roommate. So the family must be willing to forgive him. He must be willing to forgive his roommate about the misunderstanding over the Social Security check. You understand? Because at the end of the day, even though that's a rough case, the moral to the story is forgiveness, right? You must learn to forgive in order to be forgiven. That was just an abnormal and extreme case. Like, I didn't know the extent of that article. And it's crazy that it went right into mental illness because that's something that I speak on all the time. I cover news articles about it. What's the brother's name? The brother, Slakia. Trying to remember the brother's name. There was an article I covered where the brother was having a mental breakdown, and he got unalived by police, by several police officers, and it's like his name is on the tip of my tongue. Tyree Nichols, the Tyree Nichols case. I remember now. Tyree Nichols case. Tyree Nichols was a young black man that was suffering from mental illness, mental health problems. His sister called the hospital for him to be picked up and brought to the hospital. But again, in these situations, instead of the hospital coming to pick up the patient, they call police. Police are not equipped to deal with patients that have mental health issues. Just a few months ago, right here in Jersey City, there was an unalivement of a young black brother that was suffering from mental health illness. The mother just wanted the doctors to come and pick her son up. Her and her brother have been trying to contact the doctors at this hospital in Jersey City for the last 2 years, 3 years now, right? Police had a run-in with her son prior, the year before. and it didn't get ugly. It worked out. You know what I'm saying? And then he had got treatment, and then he got kicked loose. And now she's been searching to get her son treatment again because he was having another episode, and she feared for his health and overall well-being. Police came to the scene. The situation got escalated, and rather than the police showing great poise and patience and tried to get him to the hospital, they unalived the young black brother. You understand? And that's a prime example of why we need to push reform in New Jersey, PA, and New York, state of New York, for all law enforcement to go back to the drawing board and to receive retraining, not just de-escalation training, because they need to learn how to de-escalate a situation. Because now in today's time, a situation occurs, they're quick to unalive us. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. For blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they will unalive us quick with no problem, no hesitation. You understand? Even in that situation, though, in all honesty, we still gotta learn how to forgive them. It's messed up and it's wrong, but we must learn how to forgive. Because if we don't learn how to forgive, how can we learn how to be forgiven? How can we plead to the Most High to forgive us for trespassing? How can we plead to the Most High to forgive us when we decided to be wicked or disgusting or not keep a law, statute, or commandment? And then we felt ashamed and bad about it, and we wanted forgiveness from the Lord and another chance. So you can't ask the Lord for forgiveness if you're not willing to forgive yourself. Let me give you a precept for that. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verses 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Salakia. And in the next verse, it said, Yahushua Mashiach said unto him, I say not unto thee unto 7 times, but unto 70 times 7. Meaning, if your brother messes up and he trespasses against you or he wrongs you in some kind of way, you got to forgive the brother. This is where in ISUPK, men above you will tell you, be patient. Bear your brother's burden and be patient with him. Work with him, but forgive your brother. We must learn to forgive one another in order to receive forgiveness. You can't have one without the other. That's just how it goes. Fear the Most High, keep His law, statutes, and commandments, and you must learn how to forgive somebody that trespasses against you in order to be forgiven by the Lord. Now I'm not saying it like it's easy, but it's something that must be done. And the more you practice it, it becomes simple. I pray you understand, Israel, because this is like a real serious matter that we have to deal with in today's society. People always talk about revenge, but nobody never talks about forgiveness. You understand? People never talk about forgiveness. I done sat there and watched so many young brothers out here get unalived in the streets. I don't understand for the life of me why they getting unalived at such alarming rates. These kids, these young men is barely out of high school. You understand? They barely out of high school. Some of these kids is barely out of grade school. And they out here gang banging. They out here shooting guns, causing mischief, going in and out of juvie. You know what I mean? Ain't no more youth house in Jersey City. Now you gotta go to North. But the moral to the story is we must learn to forgive. If we can't learn how to forgive somebody for wronging us or trespassing against us, how can we go and plead to the Most High and ask the Most High for forgiveness? It's like basically you being a hypocrite. And here in the UPK, we don't do that. You understand? I pray you understand, Israel. Another precept. We're going to stay in the book of Matthew. We're going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 14. For if ye forgiveth men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Meaning, if you forgive a brother that trespassed against you, wronged you in any way, shape, or fashion, or offended you in any way, shape, or fashion, you gotta forgive that brother. God, you gotta forgive him. Because if you want God to forgive you for your indiscretions, for your transgressions, then who the hell are you to not forgive a brother that trespassed against you? You understand what I'm saying? Like if a brother wrongs you in some type of way, you gotta be willing to forgive that brother. Be patient with that brother. Forgive that brother. Hell, it might be me. Be patient with me. Forgive me. So I can later on forgive. You understand? Because the forgiveness is not for you. It's for the Most High. It's for that brother or that sister. You understand what I'm saying? I pray you do, Israel. I really do. We're gonna go into the book of James, chapter 5, verse 16. Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. If you confess your faults one to another and pray one to another, you may be healed. Meaning, if you learn how to forgive, you can then learn to be forgiven. It's a give and take thing. You gotta learn to forgive your brother or your sister. And I don't mean you're like real blood brother or sister. You gotta be able to, blacks, Hispanics, you have to be able to know how to forgive one another so you can learn how to be forgiven for your unrighteousness, for your indiscretions. You understand? That's just how that works. Because through effectual, fervent prayer and righteous men avail much. Meaning by you properly knowing how to forgive somebody, somebody could have slept with your wife. If you forgive that brother and forgive that sister for the indiscretion and the transgression, the Lord will forgive you. You understand? Your forgiveness will not go unnoticed. You understand? And your great discipline will not go unnoticed as well. I pray you understand, Israel. Let me see. All right, yeah. I'm gonna do another precept and then I'm gonna go into the next article, right? Like I said, it's important and it's extremely important, Israel. We have to, like I said, not just study the law, statutes, and commandments, but we have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, because if we keep them, thus we'll know how to forgive somebody that wrongs you or offends you. And you'll know that by forgiving that person, the Lord will forgive you for any transgressions, for any indiscretions, for any wrongdoing. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm sure of it, especially if you're walking in the path of righteousness, not on that fence teetering between good and evil, good and evil. No, if you're not walking that fine line, but if you pick a side, and if you pick the side of righteousness, and you walk the path of righteousness, the Lord will forgive you. But again, you must learn how to forgive in order to know how to be forgiven. It goes hand in hand. One hand wants the other, Both hands wash the face. That's just how it goes. That's just how this works in life. I pray you understand, Israel. We're going to go to the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 27. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies. Do good to them which hate you. Now, this is the tough precept because when you're dealing with people in the world in today's society, even those so-called holy rollers in the Catholic Church, that's a tough pill to swallow because a lot of people don't want to hear that. You know, I'm not going to lie, people not going to want to hear that. Love my enemy. Be good to my enemy. It's a difficult type of situation, but at the same time, you have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. There's no gray area. There's no cutting the corner. There's no getting around that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, seriously, we as blacks, Hispanics, and Indians gotta understand. We have to understand that there's a fine line between keeping the laws and thinking that you're keeping the laws. You know what I'm saying? By keeping me doing what I'm doing right now, I'm keeping the law. If I wasn't tuned into class or signed into the chat like I'm supposed to, because today is mandatory, then I'm not keeping all the law, statutes, commandments. Whatever I'm doing outside of not being in class. You understand what I'm saying? But it says to love your enemies. Loving your enemies meaning, let me give you context so you can have a clear understanding. When it says to love your enemies, it means to show mercy, show compassion and patience. For God blesses babies and fools, for they don't know no better. So you gotta love your enemies and understand that they don't know no better. So you gotta forgive them, and you know if you forgive them, the Lord will forgive you. It's just that simple. That's just how it works. Even when you're dealing with heathens. If you forgive the heathen, the Lord will forgive you. If you don't abhor the Edomite, the Lord will reward you later for not doing it. It's the only way I can put it. Let me slap. Let me get this next article queued up. But these ads be crazy. All right, here we go, Israel. New Jersey cop tampered with police records, authorities allege. A patrolman in Warren County was arrested Thursday after an investigation accused him of tampering with police records, authorities said. Tyler Roller of the Greenwich Township Police Department was charged with fourth-degree falsifying or tampering with records and tampering with police records, tampering with public records or information, which is a disorderly person's offense, according to a release from the Warren County Prosecutor's Office. Detectives said Roller allegedly entered two names in the Greenwich Township Police Department records management system for incidents in which they were not involved, the office said. No other details were released Thursday. Roller's current status with the department was not immediately clear. Local police officials could not immediately be reached. All right, that's it for that. Let's see. Now, before I could jump into this one. Now, as far as that's concerned, right? Now, I don't know. As far as the cop is concerned, he was accused of tampering with records. I mean, it's a slap on the wrist. It's fourth degree. It's going to get thrown out. The point is, the moral to the overall story is that if you can forgive him, then you can be forgiven later on if you make a mistake and you mess up and do something wrong or potentially illegal. That's the whole moral to me playing that, showing that article, and so that we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians understand that if we learn how to forgive, then we can be forgiven. Don't for one second think that you can ask the Lord to be forgiven for being a wicked, disgusting bastard and a sinner if you're not willing to forgive somebody for being similar. And they might not even be that wicked or disgusting. They just might be in the street. They just might be homeless. They might just be lost trying to find their way. I'm just saying, Israel. It's like we as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we got a lot of work to do. We got to gather together. We got to stick together. We have to learn how to forgive for our past, In order for us to move forward, we must forgive our past. And that includes people that wronged us, people that offended us, people that assaulted us in childhood, so on and so forth. If we can basically forgive all those that did us wrong in life, then we could be forgiven for the wrong we did. And then we could be on the path to righteousness from there on, moving forward. But we have to stay steady on that course, and we have to stay focused as well as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We got to stay focused. We got to. There's no other way. All right, let me upload this article. Trio of New Jersey gang members convicted in murder spree on rival gangs. 3 members of Jersey City street gang are facing mandatory life sentences in federal prison for murder and racketeering and a killing spree targeting a rival gang. That's crazy. All right. Myron Williams, 31 in Newark, and Khalil Kelly, 25, and Roger Pickett, 24, both from Jersey City, are the last of 11 men indicted in January to be convicted. Federal prosecutors said they were arrested in April 2023. Pickett was convicted of single counts racketeering, conspiracy, and Hobbs Act robbery, as well as murder and aid of racketeering, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence, and causing death through the use of a firearm. Ooh, that's not good. How is this? I don't know what it is about this article. Why is this article blacked out like this? That's crazy. All right. For whatever reason, that article is blacked out, Israel. I cannot read the rest of that article for you. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, they don't want me to read the contents in that article. No sweat. And I'm subscribed to the NJ.com, so it shouldn't be an issue. But for whatever reason, I can't read that article. More to the story is, even though these young brothers, is convicted to mandatory life for the charges that they were brought forth, they still must be forgiven. There's no getting around it. There's no cutting corners. You gotta forgive them. And they gotta be willing to forgive too. They gotta be willing to forgive those gang members, other gang members that they were beefing with. Like, one thing is this becomes a repetitive cycle of nonsense. Like, how much unaliving is going to keep going on? You killing him, they killing your people. Ain't nothing but funerals, 10 funerals a week. Like, come on, like, y'all gotta understand the overall picture. Y'all thinking y'all being tough and y'all being gangster. Y'all out here unaliving people that look like you. Dumb. Freaking dumb. Why? For what? Over what? Let's be serious. Let's call a spade a spade. What are you really doing it for? What is it really over? $1? A bag of weed? A female? Like, are you serious? It can't be over territory. You ain't got the pink slip for that corner you want. None of y'all. This is why I can't understand for the life of me. I do Uber. So I be driving kids around the hood, and they be getting low in my car, like I really heard them say out their mouth, we ain't allowed down this in the town. And I'm looking like, what you mean? Like, hey, like, man, I'll go anywhere I want in Jersey City with no problem. I don't give a hell who, what gang, where. And what's that supposed to mean to me? You better go ahead with that. But again, moral to the story is, you gotta forgive. In order to be forgiven by the Lord, you gotta forgive. You gotta forgive them brothers that unalived your mans. You gotta be able to forgive them brothers that unalived your cousin. You understand? I got brothers that's locked down right now. You understand what I'm saying? And shout out to my brother, also 500. Y'all will stop your holler, brother. Keep your head up. Stay strong. We're right here for you. You understand? And you're gonna be all right. And I forgive you. And I pray that you forgive them brothers. You understand? I pray you forgive them brothers. And you know what I'm talking about. And that's the main reason why I brought that up, because it's about forgiveness. You got to be willing to forgive in order to be forgiven. That's the whole moral to everything that I've been saying from jump. If you're selfish, if you think you're going to have the Most High forgive you for your transgressions, for any sins that you did, or for you offended anybody, and you not forgive, no, it don't work like that. It's not one-sided. It's not a one-sided type of situation. This is exactly how the Bible works. It's like it. It's the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 37. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. The whole point is this. You can't judge somebody without expecting to be judged. You got to learn how to forgive somebody in order to be forgiven. That's just how this thing works. You can't sit there and be a wicked, disgusting bastard for 20 years and then decide to turn your life around and ask God to forgive you if you can't forgive that brother that killed your cousin. If you can't forgive that man that robbed you, if you can't forgive that brother that robbed you 10 years ago, who are you to ask God for forgiveness? You understand? We can't be hypocrites, and we must learn how to forgive. Because at some point in life, you want to be forgiven. With the ISUPK coming out of 1 West Hall, New York, 125th Street under Commander General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible. That's my time, Israel. Shalom.